Okay, it's now live. Okay, this is a meeting of the Conservation Commission, Town of Templeton. And this is the 19th of October, 2020. We are on Zoom. Okay, we are ready to go. It is now 6:00, and we will start with the we are on Zoom and YouTube for those who are there with us. Okay, on the agenda, at first we have the meetings from 9/28/2020. Can somebody, has everybody read them yet? Okay, can I get a
motion to approve the minutes of September 28th, 2020 as written?
I second that.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, so approved. Okay, the next thing on our agenda is a meeting with, actually it says CPC, but actually it's with the Open Space Committee with Carrie Novak is coming, and we're going to discuss the tree survey that the Highway Department wanted to do, and what we're going to do. Carrie wants to explain it to us. Can you
Sure.
explain it?
Thank you, George. And I see Amanda's here. She's also a member of our Open Space Committee. So one of the functions of the Open Space Committee is to do an open space plan. We have a submitted plan that's still open, save for a few items that need to be completed. And one of the items is a tree survey. A little bit of discussion as to how in-depth that needs to be done. However, our highway superintendent, I believe, is the tree warden. I'm not exactly sure of that point. It's probably not necessarily important, but so a couple of meetings back, we were discussing options for a contracted tree survey rather than, a bunch of us driving down the road counting trees. It could be a useful product, to kind of know the shape of trees. There's a whole lot less of them after the storm 2 weeks ago, but the price that was quoted, I think, by the highway superintendent was really high, and I would not be in favor. And honestly, George, I don't know if you remember what that cost was, but
I think it was $1,800.
no, wasn't it higher than that? Anyway, okay.
I'm not
So-
positive.
So the purpose of the discussion is to whether the Conservation Commission and, maybe Open Space believe it would be a good thing to have this contracted tree survey done. We would have to get some bids and then submit that to the CPC committee. There is an administrative budget where this could be funded. So I think this is really discussional in nature today to see what people think and to see whether this would be a worthwhile thing to do.
Excuse me, Carrie. Yeah, 1,800 was the one for the person who was a intern that was going to go out and do it.
Okay.
I don't remember the other. It was real high.
Yeah.
And supposedly, last I heard, they were going to try to get another intern for the department, and they were going to try to work it that way. So I don't know exactly how that has worked out. As Bob said, he'd get back to us.
Yeah, I mean, 1,800 probably isn't that bad. I was just remembering a figure that I thought was exorbitant and not justified at all. 1,800 probably isn't a bad figure, but we don't have a hard and final figure yet. So let's say it's something in the nature of 1,800, and so I guess I'm kind of opening it up to what the committee thinks, or what the committee, if the committee thinks this would be a good idea, if they're in favor of making a request to the CPC committee. And Amanda, chime in too with your thoughts. So, I think we would like to have one. I think that it could be useful. I think it would be helpful for the town. It would certainly help fill a void in our in finishing our open space plan. So at a reasonable price, I think open space would be positive about having this tree survey done.
Any other discussions? Anybody else?
Terry, just to clarify, this is trees on town-owned properties, correct?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, we wouldn't be going into people's backyard. But thank you for that.
Yeah, that's because what they're saying, there are a lot of trees on the side of the road that should be taken down, or at least looked at to see if they need to be taken down. I think that was what the highway foreman was thinking, because a lot of people had been complaining about certain streets and the trees that are on the side of the road. And since we lost the intern, they have no idea, when they're going to get another intern, from what I understand. So the thing is, do we want to okay it if he gets back to us with more information?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it would be helpful to have this as sort of an open item, because I think I don't want to lock us into an exorbitant price. But kind of just to start the discussion.
Do you think there's any way we can get the community to crowdsource it?
I don't know if this is probably where we would want to use that kind of capital. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's some great projects like, upcoming pollinator gardens and other things like that, that would be excellent crowdsourcing things that I think the community could really get behind. It's always fun to think creatively like that.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so let's just say it's a good idea, and we'll find out what the logistics are, so then we can move on.
Yes. We want to put it off until Bob gets back to us from the highway to exactly what he needs and what we can do about it. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And, having that reflect in the minutes will be helpful.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Dave's made the motion to wait till Bob gets back to us, and then we will go through there from there. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
All right.
so voted.
Okay, thank you, George.
Okay, thank you, Terry. Okay, it is now 6:10, and we will go into the next item, which is a certificate of completion request for 157 Brooks Road, which is lot 4. The grass is growing very nicely over there. The whole back side of it's very nice. I went over there last week. And all I do is need permission to sign the COC and get it to the builder. Can I get a motion, please?
I make a motion to sign the COC for 157 lot 4.
Second?
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. That is done. Okay, that was at 6:12. I will go next to the COC request for 358 Hubbardston Road, Lot 1. We last fall okayed a partial COC on that. It has been finished. It looks good up there also. Can I get a motion to have the complete COC sent to the owner of the house or the builder?
I'll make a motion for the COC for lot 358 lot 1.
And I'll
Please.
second that.
Okay, well done. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip over the next Hubbardston, the Gardner Rd Map for a few minutes in lot 9 and go to number 7, which is 4 Elm Street, the ConCom area at 613.
Adam's with us. Go ahead, Adam.
There we go, Adam.
Mr. Chair, members of the Conservation Commission, as you know, we've been working on the 4 Elm Street project. This is goes back to the annual town meeting, I believe, if I remember off the top of my head, in 2015, where the vote was taken by the town to look at a conservation area open space concept for 4 Elm Street. I've appeared in front of the CPC committee. They like that. We are moving forward with that, and obviously we're here tonight because we did conduct a survey. I'm going to share my screen.
Yep.
And I do have Sheila with me tonight. Sheila Pelletier, who's volunteered her time coming up with the design, and I also have Scott Dill, who's been working closely with Bob Sozik on the maintenance aspect. So we're trying to cover all angles here on this whole. But if I could start with the name, you see on your screen the information I shared. Great. Well, we went out and did a survey on the town website, and people in town were able to participate on the naming of 4 Elm Street, because we've always been calling it 4 Elm Street. And we had to come up with something to really engage the community in this process. There were options here, which below you can see gave River's Edge Conservation Area, which received the most votes, 38. Back Bay Conservation Area, 22 votes, and then the Baldenville Conservation Area, 23. There's others that put in other, but overall, there was 102 responses, and River's Edge Conservation Area received the most support. This was, I thought, a pretty good response. I thought going out there, people were able to be engaged in the process, participate, and come together on this site and how we can move this forward. And we would like to get this support of Conservation Commission on the name of the River's Edge Conservation Area, as was voted in our recent survey to be the most popular in town.
Okay.
So with that, I will now give this to Sheila Pelletier, who's been volunteering her time coming up with the River's Edge design plan. You see it up on your screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my.
Sheila, could you see it?
I can see it. I can't read it, but I can see it.
Oh, you must be
Almost.
on your, okay. I think you're on your phone.
Yeah, give me one moment. Let me pull it up. Well, the important thing is that you can read there. It says rectangular design. I met with Adam and we talked over some concepts, and we came up with this concept. It uses the area that we have available. On your left side of your screen, that is where Elm Street actually is. And then on the top of the screen is where the river is. Just to orientate you to this map. On the left-hand side, there's a hill, and there's actually some cement that comes out from the fencing. We want to take that whole area and just put a lot of plants in there. That's also where that new sign is going to go. That is the new name for the park. And you'll see there's one bench that'll be placed over in that area. And our plan is on this whole park is just to kind of build up from where it is now. So you'll be have 3 ways to walk in. On your right hand lower side, you'll see a picnic table. So you'll see 4 total picnic tables. And you'll see 5 benches. Thank you, Adam. Over in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see this thing that looks like a drawn-out H. That is the board that was requested that will show the history of that area, and it can be used for other things, but that's primarily what was asked to be put there, was the history of that area. And you'll see that the picnic tables are tucked away into walking paths so that you can sit and enjoy your lunch or sit on a bench and just reflect on your day or enjoy the flowers and the bushes around you. The concept is to keep this really low maintenance as well. So these would be perennials, bushes, shrubs, plants that were planted that would come back every year.
Sheila, if we could just also mention these benches up here, as you mentioned earlier, the river will be flowing this way, and these
Correct.
benches face the river.
Correct.
I just wanted to add that before I flip back to the other screen.
And right, the other screen, you'll see fencing as well. We want to take the chain link fencing and make it something more visually pleasing. Are there any questions so far?
Yes. What is the pathway substrate going to be, and will it be ADA compliant?
I am still researching that. I'd like to, yes, it will be ADA compliant, and that's why I'm researching what kind of materials we can use for those pathways.
And if we can bring attention to the picnic tables up here, it does show ADA compliance. We're going to be looking and researching. This is just a rough breakdown. I do appreciate the time that Sheila took out to make this a reality. We do have plenty of areas where we're looking at making this with the signboard, the plants and the shrubs. This concept will certainly bring a highlight to that area. Right now, it's just basically almost like a vacant lot, if you will, with some grass, patchy grass. This will be an area where a lot of the small businesses, people waiting at the garage, people that are going into the stores, they can go over there and have their lunch. They could go over there, wait, whatever it may be, that we can put together and have the community come together. And this will certainly be a project where we can come together and put together a group of volunteers, similar to what happened with the Gilman Way project when that park first came in, and the community was able to come together and put this park and where it is today. And so many families enjoy that park, and we want to do the same thing here with this conservation area. Sheila, I just wanted to add those a few things in there as well.
Sure.
Scott, are you on?
Yes.
Did you want to add any input as well? Because I know you were involved with this, and from the maintenance end, and you work closely with Bob Sozik, our DPW director. Would you want to provide some insight? I just want people to know that this is a effort put together by a lot of the town together working, and something that I know you strive for working on as the Parks and Cemetery Commissioner, as well as on recreation.
Yes, I spoke with Bob a couple of times. I think this plan needs to be really drilled down even further to get more, because we really can't put a maintenance tab on this right now because we really don't know. We don't know the substrates. We don't know parking. We don't know what's going to be used for parking. We don't know the actual square footage that we want to put the blueprint in. So we really have to get a really detailed plan of how this is going to be. And also, I think we need a traffic study, because making a left-hand turn out of that park is a dangerous situation coming off that road. So I think the police chief needs to be involved with that also, because the trucks that come around, and if we go back in history, that's the dump truck that rolled over and smashed into the emergency management center that that cause those doors to come down. So it's a dangerous corner. So that's one consideration. But how many handicap spots do we need? X amount of space. There's a lot of things we really got to get into before we can put a maintenance tab on this.
And this plan doesn't change anything with the current parking spot. This is just the area right now that is, was where the park was gonna be. We didn't do anything with parking spaces. We have a right of way that we have to leave beside the park. So it wouldn't change parking or anything in that area. It's just the land that we were originally gonna put the Veterans Park on is now this design, and no parking or anything, because in order to get 2 lanes of parking, as was mentioned before, you had to go onto the Corps of Engineers land, and we decided that was a lot of work, and that might be in another phase, but the first phase would be this little park area.
Yeah, I don't know how the monies are to be expended, if it's all in one lump sum or we have to do it. I'm sure with CPC, we can do it as the park progresses. So.
Well, that's why this plan tonight's really just to get the first phase of the project started, Scott. The money's
Right.
been appropriated, obviously, the concerns that you have, and we will address. I mean, this will be subject to obviously the police chief signing off. This is more of just to give an idea of what we can be looking at, the community coming together. I know your folks over at the Cemetery Commission just are looking at signage, and this is an idea where we could at least get the sign up at the site, start off on getting some of the other areas where we can take care of before the winter comes up, and get us where we're having this dialogue and to obviously get all parties involved. Tonight at this meeting, I think this is an opportunity for the Conservation Commission to sign off on the naming of the site through the survey where people participated, and subject to obviously the criteria that we need to follow as a town. And that's why I think with the dialogue we're having, Mr. Andrews and the Conservation Commission folks, they can have something where they could say, you know what, the town, they're really doing their due diligence. They're really looking through everything. And this is the intent of town meeting. The town meeting wanted this to be a conservation area, an open space concept. So we're really taking care of that. I mean, the other aspects will have to be addressed further down the road. But before we start really getting into having everybody out there, and keep in mind, winter's right around the corner. This is obviously subject to change.
Thank you, Adam. Okay, I think I'll make a motion to go ahead and accept the name and River's Edge Conservation Area, if I can get a second.
I'll second that. Oh, sorry, Dave.
Okay. Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Okay. I guess we're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's ended at 6:25. Thank you. Hey, Adam and Kelly. Kelly, no, Sheila.
Sheila.
Thanks, George.
Hey, at least I remember. Okay. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? No? I guess we're all set. We can go back to our regular meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait till they close their screen there, Adam. Thank you. Oops. We are back. Okay, we are back. It is now 6:26, and the next thing on our agenda, if I can find the agenda. Ta-da, I lost it again. Okay, next thing on the agenda is a notice of intent, Gardner Rd Map 6.12, Parcel 31.1. Okay. It is, like I said, 6:27. Okay. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, that a public hearing will be held on the notice of intent filed by New England Environmental Design LLC on behalf of Triumph 46 Realty Trust. Project location is Gardner Rd Map 6-12, Parcel 31.1. Description of the project is construction of a cultivation facility within the buffer zone of a wetland. The hearing will be held on October 19th, 2020 at 6 p.m. via Zoom and live streamed on YouTube through TCTV. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should contact by email at lwitter@templeton.gov. The notice of intent is available for review at the electronically by the Developmental Services Office during regular business hours. George Andrews, Chair, Templeton Conservation. Is the people here for this meeting?
Hi,
Oh, one of them is, okay, that's the guy I guess I'm looking for. Please state your name.
I am Damon Schmidt.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually waiting. Julian from New England Environmental is apparently having problems getting on. So I don't know if he's on the line at all or.
Julian, you here yet? I guess not.
All right. Do you guys have anything else that we could go to the back of the line while we're waiting for him or?
I've got one more. If you want, we can we'll take a 10-minute break and come back to you as soon as we're done with the other one. Okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. We will be back. Yes, we set this as 6:29 and we will come back to it after Julian joins us. Okay. Okay, our next one will be hang on a minute. I put in the other chair. Okay, it is now 6:29. Brook Road, map 5-08, parcel 6.2, notice of intent. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 1, Section 40 of the Wetlands Protection Act, that a public hearing will be held on a notice of intent filed by Grouse Engineering on behalf of the Asher Construction Project located in Brooks Road, map 5-08, parcel 6.2. Descriptions of the project is construction of a 3-bedroom home within the buffer zone of a wetland. The hearing will be held on October 19th, 2020 at 6 p.m. via Zoom and live streamed on YouTube through TCTV. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should contact by mail at lwitter@templeton.gov. The notice of intent is available for review at the electronically by the Developmental Services Office during regular visiting offices. And before we start, we'll start it, then I'll read it afterwards. Is somebody from Grouse here?
Yep, I'm right here.
Oh, there you are. All right, come on in.
Trevor, do you have a site plan you could share with us?
Yeah, I actually do. If I could figure out how to share screen. Let's see here. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, oops, I did.
Yep.
Yep.
Does this to me all the time.
All right, so yeah, this is one of the lots on Brooks Road. There's been a lot of them lately, and basically they A&R'd this lot and got all the subdivisions approved and everything, but they didn't delineate the wetlands when they did the A&R. So when I went out and surveyed it, the wetlands line left almost no room for a house. Basically the driveway would have been right on top of the house. And it was kind of ugly. So I proposed to Ben and the property owner that the property line be moved. So you see this iron pin, this is where the property corner was, and they pushed everything over 25 feet to give more space to the wetlands. That way you can, fit a garage and, leave 10 feet between the wetland and the driveway and keep everything a little bit safer. And yeah, the soils weren't great out there. That's why the septic system's so large and very high. And yeah, it's pretty much the tight fit, and this is pretty much the only place that it could go. But we're aligning the entire site with silt fence, and so to protect that wetland that eventually goes through this culvert up here and flows across the street. It's an intermittent stream. It was pretty dry when I was out there. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Now that silt fencing was already up, right?
I'm not sure if they did or not. I haven't been out there since I surveyed it.
Okay. That's what I could remember. They did the right-hand side a couple of weeks back.
Oh, they did? Okay. Yeah,
That
I didn't know
is-
that.
And okay, I do have a notice from an abutter that I'd like to read before we get into this. We have some concerns regarding Lot 9 on Brooks Road. The main concern is wanting to know where all the water from the wetland protected area is going to go. Currently, all of the water that flows through that area goes under the road and empties across the street into a holding area. How is that much water going to be rerouted and to where? We just want to be assured that the water will not enter our property. Another concern is for the wildlife protection that inhabits that area. It's an area that is valuable to food, nesting, and a protective order for various animals. We've had more animals come into our yard in the last 7 or 8 months than in the previous 19 years. We even had a lynx. If that area was important enough to be protected by Wetland Protection Act, it must have been for a good reason. Shouldn't it stay that way? In this neighborhood, informational hearing going to be reviewed by the city officials within the next 30 days. We would greatly appreciate it. We could be notified of when the decision is made and what was the decision based on. Thank you, Jeff and Lee Mosier, 111 Brooks Road. Now they're the ones up there, to the right of the wetlands. So is anything else? Anybody else want to talk? Or
Is this a site that we should go and re-inspect?
that's a question. I say it's up to you people, what we want to do with it. All right. Remember, Amanda, you and I did that originally. That was a big one, the one that had that water rushing right across the road earlier when we did the sidewalk.
I do remember that, and having the septic system in front there does pose a little bit of a concern to me with the water too. Yeah.
I mean, one thing we could do is in front of the septic system there, we could put a little swale so that nothing flows into the road, and we can redirect it under, like we'll do a culvert right under the driveway, and then connect it into the location where the culvert comes across. That way, the road doesn't get washed out with the the slope from the septic down to the road. But as far as that's a pretty small house, and the driveway is kind of just a typical size for one, so it's not going to be a ton more impervious area for additional runoff. And I think that the wetland in that area is pretty wide, so I wouldn't assume, I'd assume that it wouldn't be a crazy amount of extra flow there because it has some room to spread out there. And I believe the culvert was in decent shape. And then across the street, I believe it's pretty channeled actually. It's a pretty good ditch in there, so the water shouldn't escape that ditch either. It kind of goes out back, and then I think it heads into the golf course area. So
Yes, and I believe that's where there is the town, I believe, has a thing on that road over there, Lord Road, or down on Willow Street, going up there, back of the golf course. That is where that leads to. That's why it was hazard protection area up on across the street, as far as I know. But anything else, Amanda or Dave, or what would make your decisions, or what would you like for us to do?
I'm almost thinking if the house was staked out and the size of the leach field was staked out, the four corners, and maybe just a quick review again of the site.
So I have Oliver up right now, if you want me to pull that up. I'm just trying to find where on Brooks Road it is. What's the abutters house number?
111.
111. Okay, so it's south of 111?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
east, whatever, yeah.
see if I can get it up on this for you guys.
Ooh.
So we're in this location right here. The culvert runs almost right at this lot line right here, coming across. So the lot is roughly like right in here.
Right. Trevor, you want to stop sharing your screen for a minute and I'll share mine.
Absolutely.
And it has the wetlands marked on it, which is helpful. So it is right here, this lot. And
Oops. Oh,
it's wet in the back, clearly. I have the streams layer turned on too, and no streams are showing up. So when we were out there, it looked like, yes, this stays pretty wet because they built a house back here. But I think, from my opinion, it looks like you're good to go.
all right, I didn't hear what you said, Amanda. Huh,
Oh, I said, from my opinion, it looks like he's good to go.
okay.
Trevor, do you remember how much you're filling there? How high are you going?
How high are we going? Let me
Yeah.
see here.
I can stop sharing too if you want to.
Plan up quick. So existing contour right there is roughly around 100, and it looks like the top of the septic is going to be at like 10-15. So right in front of the house is going to be about 5 feet, and then where you're driving into the garage on the right hand side of the house, that's going to be pretty much at existing grade. I didn't want to lower it any because that way, you don't want to have a puddle right next to a wetland. That wouldn't be good for the house. So I wanted to keep it at least, a foot above the wetland elevation. So that's what we have it at.
I am starting to see why they don't give you a work.
Somebody's lost for words here. Okay, anybody else got anything to say? David? Vinny?
Nope.
Amanda? How do those figures go over with you?
I think we're all set.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the NOI for Brooks Road Lot 9.
I'll second.
Hey, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 So voted. Thank you. Trevor?
Thank you very much.
Okay. Laurie, you all set? Okay, we're closing this at 6:41.
Looks like Julian made it on, so.
I did. Sorry it took me so long. I had
There
some
he is.
troubles.
Okay. Okay, we're
Sorry
gonna go
about that.
back. We're gonna go back. Hang on, a minute, Julian. I gotta go back to you at 6:42, and then we will go from there. Okay. Where are we? Okay. Whenever you're ready, Julian. Bring in your stuff.
All right. Which one are we?
I don't see you. Hello.
Yeah, this is Julian.
Yeah, can you bring your stuff up or?
Oh, I don't have that. Is Lori there to?
We have paper copies. Does everybody have?
Yeah, everybody has a paper copy. So we can go by that. Okay. So try to explain, can you explain exactly what we're doing now?
Yeah, we're proposing to put up a bunch of greenhouses to be able to facilitate the grow house for Damon Schmidt's project. We walked the site a little earlier actually, was it last fall? Might have been early. Yeah, it was last fall. And we're proposing to put the building in as shown on the plan. And to mitigate, we've got two things going on here. We've got a portion where the valley florist is. There's a bunch of greenhouses and asphalt and pavement and buildings and all that. He's going to rework that section. So we've got a redevelopment section and a new construction section. So I try to make the numbers work so that we met the rules as best as we could. The drain is all going to be gravel driveways, no asphalt, but for the parking. So that couldn't create any impervious for that part. And the roof, we're going to handle in a drainage system that we're going to catch all the roof water and put it into infiltrators around the foundation. Because it's a slab, so there's no actual there's no cellar on this. It's just gravel underneath. So we should be able to accommodate for all the infiltration and extra runoff through this infiltrator Coltech drainage system. And that's what all the calculations and everything are all about that we submitted. So that's what we've got before you guys. And hopefully we can make this all work out.
Okay, I think I have a couple of things. Number one, you had mentioned on planning board's meeting, nothing about putting a tank out front to catch the sewer.
Correct.
The site is going to be eventually hooked into water and sewer. I think the tank outside is for the processing of the grow facility. That would be a separate tank for that. They recirculate it or whatever they do, but the site itself will be connected to sewer.
Okay, now, have you been talking to the sewer department and the water department about going across the road to look into stuff?
I gotta see if Damon, are you on right now?
Yeah, I've been talking to them over the last year. So that's our plan, and I'm in an agreement with a neighbor to go across their property.
Okay, so everything is set up, contract and all that all set up?
The contract for the property we have set up.
Yeah, but not for the one going across the street. Okay.
Oh yeah, not with the city yet. That's gonna take a bit.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. as of right now, you're only as far as with your own land, not going across. Okay. Because we don't want to see that 16,000 gallon waste tank sitting there 3 years from now.
Yeah, no, I agree. Neither do I.
And, you know, that was one of the concerns a member of the board had, and we just wanted to make sure that you were working with the sewer and water department to straighten that out. And, okay. Okay. Amanda, you got any questions?
Nope, I was just double checking the all the regulations, and we basically need to approve him or not, knowing that he is planning on altering 35,000, give or take, square feet of riverfront area.
Okay. And David? No, David?
I did, just on that, I did keep we didn't touch anything in the 100-foot, so we were very careful to try to do 0 100-foot river zone alteration. So hopefully that helps in some of the decision making.
Okay, anybody else got any questions? Laura, you got anything? No, I didn't think so. David?
I think we're all set.
Okay, Vinny?
I think we're good.
You're good. Okay, can I get a motion to okay the project?
Motion to approve the NOI for Gardner Road, parcel 31.1 as written.
Okay, Vinny?
Oh, I'll second that.
Okay, Dave? All right, all those in favor?
In favor.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye. So motions, and it's 6:49. We will close the meeting.
Thank you.
I mean, not the
Thank-
meeting, we'll
thank you.
close the hearing, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. All right. Laurie, how's it going with you?
Good.
Good, good. There you are. Okay. All right, so we're closing the meeting. I need a motion to close the meeting.
I will make that motion. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. I keep stepping on your feet.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Okay. It is now 6:50.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I will get, you guys want to make sure you get your packets back to Laurie sometime in the next couple of days, next week. And I will get mine to her tomorrow. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.